Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Running is Life podcast. My name is Coach Aaron Saft, and today's episode is your playlist and making that deep connection with the music that you listen to. Music is often something that I don't use in races, but as I plan for Western States this summer, I want to try to incorporate it somehow, and I've already been thinking about how to do it and what I want on there. I've already started creating a playlist, and kind of wanted to talk about some of the connections and thoughts that went into some of these songs, because I think music can do a lot for us. I think we can all agree. Some of us don't like listening to music at all, and that's fine. As I said, I haven't really been into music too much. I remember the last time we ran Western States, Nathan turned on his phone and had some great music playing as we ran down Cal Street. I was so sleepy, and it was late night. It's been a tough day. I'd already gone through the heat of the day. And I just remember some of those songs just kind of hitting my soul and really grabbing me. And it just was, it was uplifting. And music can be such, and I think it can touch us in ways that we don't often understand. We make that emotional connection. We are taken back to a memory, or we are just touched by how deep and passionate the singer and band is. I kind of was talking with my brother the other day about the emotions that music can evoke, and we were going through some of the videos that were online, be it in America's Got Talent or The Voice or whatever it may be. But these people that either they have their own song, or they make an already made song into their own, and the incredible voices and talents that are out there and how they touch us. And that's kind of what started me really kind of getting into this podcast and where this topic kind of came from. Because we do have that deep emotional connection. And I was running through my brain and thinking about things, and I have a poster next to my bed about Steve Prefontaine, and to give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift, is the poster, and it has Pre, as he's affectionately called, crossing the finish line, breaking the tape and looking up at the clock to see what he had done. He believed that running was a form of art, and he wanted to see how beautiful he could make it. His performances were works of art in his mind, and I will take a spin off of that and say that I don't paint these pictures. My races aren't about painting pictures for other people. I hope my kids see it and are inspired by it, but at the same time, I'm painting a picture for me to reflect upon the rest of my life. It can be a selfish endeavor, and to say that, it does sound a bit selfish, but that's the truth. Is that I paint these pictures in my mind of the places I've been. I have so many pictures in my mind about Western States and what I went through in 2023. Both gorgeous and just really tough times. Frustrating times, like, why is my body not holding up? Why is it not running? Why am I not able to move as I should? And all things that I've been going over with my mental sports performance coach, Marissa, things we've been talking about and going through. And, again, a topic for another conversation. But, again, I'm trying to paint a different picture this time. I want to create new memories. And music, it does touch me in ways that I think can help benefit me in Western States this year. And those of you that agree and do use music in your own races, I think we can think of them as or in different various ways. The first one is evoking a positive memory. a song that that kind of brings up a positive memory about a person or an event, while you were running. There's so many different things that can pop up here, and I can think of a number of different stories here, and some of these themes are going to cross over. I think back to 2019 when I ran UTMB, and we had ran into the first night. You start at 6 p.m. in UTMB, and you quickly go into the dark. We were still in France. We hadn't crossed over into Italy just yet, but we were in the mountains, deep in the mountain passages. We had just come up a long, long climb, about 9 miles of climbing, and we're kind of running just along this ridge line, in the dark, in the quiet, all real reflective and contemplative very early on in the race. And all you could hear was the sound of other people breathing. That was it. There was no talking. And for some reason, Bill Withers, his song "Lean on Me" just came to mind, and I just started singing it. And you're in a line in UTMB. For those that haven't experienced it, quite early on, there's just so many people around you, and you're just kind of in a line running. And it was the coolest thing because a number of other runners just started joining in, and we just sung, "Lean on Me" together. It was just amazing to think about that. We all connected with music. We all understood our purpose, what we were doing. We were all painting our own pictures, however we wanted to show them, whether they're for ourselves or for others. That was pretty cool. I'll probably cry a few times in this episode, because it's some good memories. So, that song is definitely on my playlist. It's one that I know I can sing with other people, obviously. It's a universal song that, most people know. And so that one, that one strikes a chord deeply for, just the moment, what it was. I have that ingrained in my memory. Like, I can remember my light beam going around these rocks around the corners, people disappearing around corners and then reappearing as I rounded the corner. And we sang. We ran downhill and down some switchbacks and continued to sing. It's pretty cool to be able to kind of recall that. I can remember in Umstead in 2021, being in the dark with my friend, again, Nathan, and he asked me about music and my ability to recall songs and sing the lyrics, and I was in a good place, and due to that, I just brought up Gin and Juice by the Gourds. It's obviously a remake of Snoop Dogg's Gin and Juice, but the Gourds do it in kind of a folk / bluegrass style, if you will. And I could recite it word for word and belt it out. And, we're in the darkness once again. And, I could hear people, both in front of me and behind me laughing and joining in on the chorus. Because, music, again, it just resonates. Everybody connects. It connects us all in so many different ways. And that positivity just exuded, and it helped. That was, I think, lap 9. Hold on. I think we did 8 laps, so it was lap 7. Forgive me if my mental math's off. Yeah, I think that was lap 7. We did 8 laps that year. And so it was my second to last lap, and I was just excited to get on to the last lap and close it out. So, but again, one of those times in a race where it just, it came out and I just, was in a gleeful moment, being able to sing and enjoy that moment with my friend in the woods, deep into this race. I mean, there's so many here, so many memories that I could share about songs, not only in running, but throughout life. And I'll connect a few other songs here as we kind of go through. I'll kind of tie this one into the next topic, which is connection with a family member or a friend. Obviously, I just talked about how Nathan and I were running, but two memories really come to mind here, and I put them on my soundtrack actually yesterday as I kind of thought about these things. The first was two songs. My father owned a yellow Datsun pickup truck. This is a long time ago when I was super small, probably maybe 4 years old. He used to drive around this yellow Datsun pickup truck, just a quarter ton. It was a small little pickup truck, but it had an 8-track, and most people, never had an 8-track. Maybe you did, but maybe you don't even know what I'm talking about. But 8 tracks were the predecessor to tapes and cassette tapes. So he had 2 in the truck that I used to put in, and we wore those things out because I listened to 2 songs. We would rewind constantly on that 8-track. The first one was Charlie Daniels Band, Devil Went Down to Georgia. We used to listen to that song over and over and over again. I just loved the fiddle in that song. It just was, I don't know, it thrilled me, I guess, to hear them just jam on that fiddle. Even at that age, I was just so impressed by the fiddle playing in that song. And I love the story. The song was a story about Johnny and taking on this challenge from the devil to outplay him. It's just a cool story, made into a great song. And that was actually the first concert my dad took me to, was the Charlie Daniels Band. And I fell asleep because I was so little. But he woke me up for Devil Went Down in Georgia, so that I could hear that song. So, just, again, just a solid connection. And the other song that we played all the time in that little pickup truck was Sting. And it was Englishman in New York, and there was just this, this bass drum, and you can, kind of hear it with the snare. It was just so cool. I love that portion of it. The song was just so rhythmic, and it was just a fun song to listen to. And we used to sing it, and just at the top of our lungs together, driving in that little pickup truck. So, those are 2 that I really obviously invoke very strong emotions. When you're feeling low, those songs can really, obviously drag you out of the lowest points and remind you that, there's good in life. There's very good things in life, and there's very good memories, and you have some deep connections. Because I thought about, as always, thought about my family. I thought about, dedicating the first probably 30 miles to my mom. Just a special woman. And then, the next 30 to my dad. And that would get me to Forest Hill, where I could pick up my Pacers. And then the rest would be for myself and my family, for my 2 kids, my wife, and for my friends that are there and running with me, and for all of you who are supporting me. The other song that comes to mind, and this is where it can get fun. When my daughter was little, we used to watch Princess and the Frog. And just a great Disney movie. But there's one song, they go into the bayou, and it's called Dig a Little Deeper. and the characters are just so amazing, and the message is just wonderful, and it connects so powerfully to what we're doing. Like dig a little deeper, just grind a little harder. In that song, just watching it with my daughter, I remember her being this little squirt, that I could pick up and squish. She was just so loving. She loved that song. She used to stand and dance. I can remember her dancing there, and her little curly red hair, and just laughing, enjoying the song, enjoying the characters. So it's definitely powerful, right? And so those are the songs that we have to look for that deep connection, that inspiration, that power that can come out of music. And then, the next one I called, it's part of your timeline or your personal soundtrack. I was watching the Beastie Boys anthology, their documentary on Apple Music, and one of the people in the film said that, like, Beastie Boys is the soundtrack to my life. And that's kind of where I got the idea from this, because like that person, I myself grew up with the Beastie Boys, Licensed to Ill, and Ill Communication, Root Down. I mean, Paul's Boutique. It's just, there's so much music that came through my life. Intergalactic. It was like elementary school through college was Beastie Boys, and I got to see one of their last concerts here in Asheville at the Orange Peel. Just a deep, deep connection with those guys, because their music has been with me throughout my life. So I tried to pick a song that connected with me from each album that would have been a part of my life, just as a reminder of everywhere I've been and what I've done, because they've been a part of my growing up. And it just reminds me of times, good and bad. There were tough times for sure, throughout the life cycle of elementary school, of middle school. It was I've talked about it in the past. There's some bad things happened, but I think I've come out on top and better for it. It's opened up my heart to loving and accepting and forgiving. So, I think music has been a part of that, and that's where the Beastie Boys kind of come in. And they're, again, one of those that, you put it on, I can go from start to finish without seeing the words and go with them. And it's, so think about those songs or those artists that have been there throughout your life, and what they have meant to you. There's others. It may not just be one artist. Obviously, there's other songs that you'll connect with at different times in your life, and that's fantastic. And those should be part of your playlist as well, because that's part of you and what you've become. So, thinking about that, that's another piece of it. The next one, it reminds you of your why or your mantra, right? I can think back, and I put this song on. It was one of the first ones that I actually put on. I was running Eastern States. I was having a real tough time with equilibrium. I've talked about this in the past as well. I had some inner ear damage, and I didn't know it. And I couldn't see straight. Everything was kind of shifty. I was getting a little bit of vertigo. This is about 40 miles into the race, and I pulled into the aid station just in tears. I thought my race was over. There's that little girl I always talk about. Whew. And she looked up and said, "Dad, I want to see you finish this one. Just like you did." I think it was at the Canadian Death Race. She's like, "I want to see you get to the finish." And that solidified it, and as I've said, it turned on a switch and light a fire under me and said, "All right, what do I got to do this?" And I cranked up Cypress Hill. I ain't going out like that. It's funny what you can connect with I was a child in the '90s. Those were my music influential years. So rap music at the time, again, Beastie Boys, Cypress Hill, Tribe Called Quest, Busta Rhymes, Wu-Tang Clan. Oh man, there's just so many beat nuts. Like there's so many rap artists from back then that are on this playlist because that was a part of me growing up. It wasn't my only. I was pretty eclectic, as you can tell. I liked a lot of different music, classic rock. Grunge came in. That was heavy in my life. But, Cypress Hill ain't going out like that. That just resonated at the time. It was what I needed at the moment. Went out of that aid station, and that song just brought a new fire in my belly. She was right. Like, I needed to get to the finish line, and I wasn't going out like that. I grabbed my hiking poles and hiked up the next hill, listening to Cypress Hill, and recognized I would get to the finish line. It wasn't going to be easy, but I was going to get there because I wasn't going out like that. That hit pretty hard, and that stuck with me. It was a solid memory of, like a mantra that kind of just stuck with me. I ain't going out like that. Again, we talk about your why and how you can connect that to music. Obviously my why is a big part of it is my family, and the sacrifices they make to, for me to be able to go out to Tahoe and run this race. So it's not, hard for me to connect songs to my family. I connect my wedding song, obviously, with my wife. That's on the soundtrack. Our wedding song was Every Morning by Keb Mo. She actually bought me tickets for Christmas to go see Keb Mo with her. Very excited for that. And, that song obviously just resonates something deeply within me. It just stirs an emotion every time I hear it. Because I can think back to our wedding day and the joy and happiness and the amount of family and friends that were around me. So having those are just, they're the world, right? They help you remember your why, remember your mantra. Okay. So include those in your playlist. The next topic is sing-alongs. These are songs that through and through. You can sing, without thought, without even listening to the music. You could probably sing all the lyrics, but these are the ones that are fun. That you can turn on a speaker with your pacers and just rock out together and laugh and sing and pass the time together. You may not even need the music. You might be able to sing it together. But those sing-along songs are just fantastic. There's so many artists that I can think of off the top of my head. Dave Matthews, for instance, he's one of the ones that, if you look at some of my posts from Instagram, I use Dave a lot. His music, again, is just a part of my life. I hear the lyrics and I can just put a memory right to what he's talking about and feel exactly what he wants me to feel, which is a really cool connection. So being able to do that, it's powerful. I love that. I love that so much. The next piece is connecting a section of the course that you are on. So thinking about a piece of music that connects to the course. Now, this isn't something that I've done just yet. This is something that I'm going to take the time to work on. I just finished a great book. It's called States, The Places We Run, celebrating 50 years of American ultra running history. And it takes you basically almost turn by turn and section by section of this course. And it was a better way of me connecting with the course and thinking about where I'm at and what I'm doing and kind of blocking it into sections. I read it once. Now I'm going to read it a second time and highlight some key points. And then I'll read it a third time and read the highlighted sections as reminders. I may even make some like cue cards to pick up at aid stations to remind me of where I'm at and what I'm doing. And then perhaps there's a song per section that will help me reflect on where I'm at. And so a different way of blocking, right? Like, it's not that you have to have music constantly. It can be just a little, song here and there, perhaps 2 songs, and you shut it off and reflect on that and where you're at. States is a great course for that, obviously, because there's so many historical sections. If you're doing, Boston or something like that, you could break it up by town. There's so many ways to look at it, aid station by aid station, whatever it is. But breaking up the course and putting music, almost giving each section its own theme music. I think that's kind of a cool way to do it. Okay. So the next piece, this is, I think this is super important as well. You need songs that do psych you up, right? That gets you in the mood to keep moving. Like I said, Cypress Hill, I ain't going out like that. Definitely psych up music, right? But there's also those that can calm you down, right? So we need to know, and this is something we talked about in previous episodes, is when to zoom in and when to zoom out. Zooming in other words, creating more focus on the task at hand, and zooming out is, when you're kind of getting into that negative headspace, like, you have to know, should you zoom in and say, what am I not doing right now? Or do you need to zoom out and take your mind off of the situation? And being able to calm yourself down is huge. One song that really does calm me down is Ripple by Grateful Dead. I can play that song and I just kind of find peace. That song is very relaxing to me, and that's one I can kind of bring up and say, yeah, this is what I need right now. I can think of a ton of other ones that calm me down, be it Jack Johnson, or even some by Dave Matthews. There's some great songs that just calm me down, that don't evoke too much emotion, right? Like, yeah, there's certain songs that bring me up and get me choked up. There's other songs that psych me up, but there's also songs that kind of keep me calm and where I need to be, level-headed and zoomed out. So being able to have all of that is a huge piece of your playlist. So make sure that you include, pieces that will do each. The last kind of point that I'll talk about here is watching the music video. It may help create a deeper connection to the music. There's a YouTube channel that I've been watching, and I'll try to remember to put it in the show notes. It's 1,000 musicians, and this group plays concerts pretty much in stadiums because they have 1,000 people playing at the same time. And the one that really hit me hard was Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes, right? Yeah, by the White Stripes. Seeing 1,000 people jam to this song, and if you know Seven Nation Army, the song starts out with a heavy bass line, and you can think about it. Doom, 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 doom. Imagine hundreds of bassists playing that all at the same time, and what that can stir, right? Seeing that just stirred so much emotion, just to see how much joy and passion these people had in playing that song and being there and being together and playing. Not every music video is going to create that much stir or emotion, but, being able to watch videos and kind of see, how it stirs your emotions. I was watching Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats. The song is "Hey Mama," and I love Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats. His song "Need Never Get Old," "SOB." There's so many songs that I love by him, but this song "Hey Mama" is what really stirred me to really think about dedicating those first 30 miles to my mom. Images of the band members with their mothers. My mom wants to come out. I hope she can. She's only gone to one of my ultras, and in all my ultras, just because we're always traveling every which way. She came out to Bigfoot 200 to be around my kids, so that my wife could come out with me and crew me at all crazy hours of the night and day. But yeah, Hey Mama, it's not one song that's really on my playlist, to be honest. But it will be. I hadn't added it yet, but it will be because, I want to remember during that first 30 miles to play that song and to think about my mom and what she's done for me and all the sacrifices she's made. And, she's really helped me turn into the man I am today. Same thing with my dad. There's the songs I talked about earlier. I need to only play one of those, and I'll have my memories of my dad flooding into my brain. The hard work that he always exuded. He was kind of the one that, between my mom and my dad, they both instilled in me to be a hard worker, to work hard at whatever I do. They also, made sure that I understood I needed to do what I enjoyed doing, not just do something for a living, but to do it because I love doing it. So I've been taught so many lessons by them, and I'm grateful. And that music video kind of, I guess, turned me on to that idea. So, watching the music video can have a great effect. Obviously, I've been watching a lot of YouTube here recently because of the weather that we've had. Been on the treadmill a lot. This morning, I woke up at 4:30. That's probably why my voice is a little bit froggy. But I needed to get in 2.5 hours this morning, which is, obviously tough to do in a weekday. So up at 4:30 I was. Thankfully, the kids had a 2-hour delay so that I could get the run in and then get my kids to school. So, but yeah, I hope that gives you some ideas. Even some maybe some thought as to what to put on your playlist. There are some great songs out there, and some great other reasons obviously to include songs on your playlist. But as I thought about it, these were some that made a deeper connection to me, and I hope they help make a connection for you. So, thanks for your patience. Excuse my emotion. I am both tired and and emotional, but I really did enjoy thinking and going through that. The playlist is not done by any stretch of the imagination. Actually, was looking at purchasing either an iShuffle or something of the like, so that I had something smaller that I could carry with me, that wasn't so large or so heavy as my phone. Really trying to be minimal. This race is as minimal as possible without carrying too much weight. So, but I want to have the capacity to play some music. So trying to go through all of that right now. And going through gear, I found some new gear. We'll go through a whole nother gear episode because things have changed pretty rapidly, and even the list that I said I was excited for 2025. So maybe we'll get through here the first quarter of this new year, and then talk about it. I want to stop and just pause for a moment and just say thank you to everyone that has reached out for coaching. At the moment, I am full. I have to stop. I have to say no at this point because I am really fortunate to have as many athletes as I do. I'm fortunate, blessed to do this as a living. I love what I do. I really want to help everyone I can, but I feel if I get any more athletes at this point, I will not be doing anyone any favors because I will just be overwhelmed by the amount of work to do. And I just won't be able to concentrate as succinctly as I want to on the athletes that I do have. So, at this time, I'm going to say I'm not accepting any new athletes. I do apologize to those looking for a coach. I hope you can find someone that can help you. If you want some suggestions, I do know plenty of coaches obviously out there, and I'm happy to point you in the right direction, be it if you're looking for a male or a female, if you're looking for a marathon coach or an ultramarathon coach. I'm happy to point the direction, but I apologize that I have to say that I am full at the moment. Other than that, on the same coaching front, I am taking a course this weekend through United States Track and Field. It's about marathoning. And I want to say congratulations to a number of my runners that this past weekend we had a number of females specifically running the marathon. I had Jubilee. She finished her first marathon. Very proud of her. She PR'd in the half marathon on the way to her marathon finish. So happy for her. That was at Disney. So congratulations, Jubilee. I want to congratulate Sherry. Sherry, she PR'd in the marathon. She hadn't PR'd since 2019. She came on board with me, I want to guess, maybe 2 years ago. And she did it while doing the Goofy Challenge. So on Thursday, she ran a 5K, Friday a 10K, Saturday a half marathon, and then after all of that, PR'd by 4 minutes in the marathon. So I think there's some time still left that she can probably knock off with fresher legs. So very excited for her. Also had Julie. She was out at the Buckeye Marathon in Arizona, and she knocked out a Boston qualifier by over 9.5 minutes, coming in second in her age group. So very proud of those women. As well as Jennifer for finishing with Sherry. She helped her get through, and for Sunny for finishing with her daughter Jubilee in the Disney Marathon. Also want to just quickly say congratulations to Jackie. Jackie was over in New Zealand and ran a 53K. It sounds like the conditions were less than ideal, and she still knocked it out of the park. So very stoked for all those women. Very happy for them all. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm so happy to be a part of it. Really encourage you to, ask questions. That's the biggest thing. I had a great group run last week in Hendersonville, North Carolina, with a local group, and they asked some great questions. I said, if there's one thing is, use your resources, ask questions. That's, the community is wonderful for that. I'm happy to answer your questions for people and such. So don't hesitate to reach out. As always, thank you for being a part of this podcast, my friends. Love to all. I hope your training goes well, and I look forward to the next episode with you guys. Keep moving forward. Running is life.